Welcome to the Corporate Warriors video on out-of-the-box, knock-'em-dead interview strategies. Okay, we're going to break some more rules again. I can almost guarantee you that every career counselor and every resume writer and every human resource manager out there is probably going to have a heart attack when I give you some of these ideas. But think about them, and in your job search, try out some of these ideas, and I know it will make a difference in your ability to land a job. First of all, throw out the 30-second elevator commercial. I know that you see it in every single book out there on career job search strategies, and you're going to hear it from everyone who coaches people in search strategies, but I want you to do something different. If you use a traditional 30-second elevator commercial, you're going to sound like a Dilbert clone. You're going to sound boring, tired, and ho-hum because it's the same thing over and over again. So what I'm going to want you to do is respond to the needs or the specific agenda of the people that you are talking to. Now, let's step back for a second. In my introductory video, we talked about the reason for failure and the reason for success in your job search. Let me just kind of repeat those quickly for you. The reason people fail in their job search is that they are too focused on their own particular needs or desires. What kind of job are they going to have? How much money are they going to make? What kind of responsibilities do they have? How many people are going to be working for them? Do they have the keys to the executive restroom? All of the information is focused on who they are and what they want. If you do that, you're doomed to failure. The reason people are successful is, number one, they are focused on the needs of the company. And number two, they are focused on the needs of the people within that company. Now, first, let's talk about how we focus on the needs of the people within that company. Remember I just said to you, throw out the elevator commercial? Because if you use the elevator commercial, you're going to sound the exact same for everybody that you talk to. What I want you to do is think on your feet. Understand that there are four basic personality profiles. There's the analytical profile, amiable, expressive, and driven. Now, depending on who you're talking to, they're going to have one of those, probably have one of those personality characteristics or profiles. So here's a suggestion on how you might respond. If you're talking to a CFO or an accountant, they probably have an analytical profile. So you should respond with something that is focused on numbers, systems, processes, or procedures. An amiable person is probably going to be an HR manager. They are very people-oriented. So your response when they ask you a question about tell me about yourself should be on your ability to be a good team builder, on being cooperative, on being a good listener, being part of the organization, and contributing as best you possibly can. Another personality profile is the expressive. This is very characteristics of sales executives. So if you're talking to a sales executive who has a powerful expressive personality, you want to talk about a little bit towards their ego, to how important their job is, to the extraordinary job that they've done, on how what they do is more important than any other aspect of the organization. Speak to their expressive personality. Last but not least is the driven personality. This is probably going to be the head of the department or maybe the CEO of the company whose focus is on bottom line results and performance within the organization. So your response to them is going to be on how you can produce results and achieve success for the company. Now let's take a look at how you treat the needs of the company. One of the most successful ways to demonstrate your interest in their organization is to ask questions. Not just one or two questions, but lots of questions. And focus on issues of the organization. For example, you might say, what are some of the problems or challenges that the company is facing? What are the objectives of the organization, and what are the means that you have put in place to achieve those? What are some of the things that your competition is doing? You want to get a feel for what that organization's problems are. Once you know what their problems are, then you can present to them how your talents and your capabilities can be solutions to those problems. Now, create documentation for all of these things, for your ability to create results for the organization through key accomplishment summaries. We talked about that in the video on developing your resumes. You can use those accomplishment summaries in your interview as well. So when you are talking to the interviewer about addressing the needs of the company, provide them with written documentation right there during the interview. Last but not least, after the interview, I want you to provide a value-added follow-up. Notice I didn't say thank you letter. Every career book out there says send a thank you letter. I do not want you to send a thank you letter. I want you to send a value-added follow-up. Thank you letters are boring and ho-hum. What you can do is send a value-added follow-up that says, I enjoyed our discussion of strategic alliances and how they can make a difference. And so I have attached an article on achieving success through forming strategic alliances. Discussions like that in your quotes, thank you letter, separate you apart from the competition and give you an edge in achieving success in your job search. So implement some of these interview strategies, and I wish you the very best success. I know you're going to knock them dead and be successful.